Here in the tech lab, we're always trying to find ways to make technology work for you. So today we were working with one of the members over in the Evmux users group, and they were getting ready for a live show for tomorrow and had a need to have a number of guests on the screen along with the slideshow that they could advance as they needed to. And we found out that it wasn't an easy way to do it unless we combine two of the features within EVMux. One would be the dynamic grid to add the guests, and the second would be the slideshow feature where they could actually bring in the photos that they wanted to show and advance them. So this is the solution that we came up to help them with. Okay, this is for one of those instances where you might want to show that slideshow, but also have a number of guests on the screen. I found a way that you should be able to easily do it in your pro scene. So here I have a blank scene. I don't have anything on it. And what I'm gonna do, the first thing I'm gonna do is add new layer. And then what I'm gonna use to put the guest in is the dynamic grid. So click on dynamic grid and it's gonna add a box to the screen. And what I'm gonna do is size it down and put it over here to my right hand side. And I'm kind of give it this from top to bottom, give it that whole area. Okay, now what I'm gonna do while I have that dynamic grid set, down here I have a number of windows and this represents the guests that I'm gonna add to the scene. Okay, so first I'm gonna add the one with myself. That adds that in there. Come to the next scene, I'm gonna add that in. That adds it to the dynamic grid. Add another one. So now we have 3 in there. Add another one. Now we have 4. Add another one. We have 5. And then add one more. So we really have 6. Now what I can do with this grid, once I have it set, I can actually make it larger if I wanted to. So that's gonna size everything where they're all the same size. And that's one thing that'll work for me. The other piece of the puzzle that we needed to worry about was being able to bring your slideshow in. So just like we talked about earlier, we're gonna do add new layer, and then we're gonna say slideshow. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and create a new slide, and I'm just gonna call this one slide test so I can differentiate it from the other one. Then I'm gonna come down here and say add slide. And then here I have a bunch of pictures that I've already pulled in. So I'm gonna select the ones that I wanna add to my slideshow. Then I'm gonna say done. And then I'm gonna click on create. That creates the slideshow. But remember, just like before, it took up too much space, so I can actually move it over. I can slide the slideshow down so that it's along with my guests, and my slides are always going to fit in the confines of this line here. So I can arrow through my slides. I'm going to show the next one. And then I still have my guest over here to the side. And remember, with this, I can select this box. And if I wanted to size it down, I could. Then I just move my slideshow box over there. Now, one other thing I'm going to show you here, and this might help for you because I know that you have background graphics that you like to show. I can come back over here. I'm going to back out of the slideshow area, and then I'm going to go over to media files. And then I'm going to scroll down the list and find a background that I have in here. And it's nothing special. So I'm just going to select this one right here. And it's going to put it on top. But all I'm going to do is come to that graph, come over to the left where it turns into a hand. I'm going to hold my left button down and slide it down under everything. So now it'll be in the background. So I have my slideshow here on my left, and I have my guests over here to the right. One other thing that you could do, let's say, for example, if you wanted to put a logo on here, let's say I'm gonna go ahead and move my slideshow up a little bit. And then I'm gonna come over here, back to add new layer. Then we're gonna go to media files. And then I'm gonna look down here and see where I have one of my logo graphics. I just passed it. There it is. I'm gonna select that logo. And it put it on the screen. Of course, I don't want it here in the middle. So I'm gonna drag it down to the bottom. And then I'm gonna use the little sizers. I'm gonna grab on that to that and size it down to where it's small. And then I can have that on the screen too. So again, my guests are still here. And then I have my slideshow and I can arrow through and change things on the slideshow. One thing with the slideshow, if it's moving not fast enough for you, we can come over here to our slideshow, click on the three dot, then we can edit it, and then you do have the option to change the animation speed. Right now it's set on 2 seconds. I can bring it down to a second, so that should progress a little bit quicker whenever I click the button. So now I'm on this slide, hit the button, and it transitions over. So that should help you a little bit. It gives you an easy way using that dynamic grid to bring all of your guests on screen and not have to worry about resizing it. So this part works pretty much like it does in the dynamic scenes, but then you have the flexibility of putting your slides and everything wherever you want it because you are actually in the pro scene. So let me know if there's anything else you need, and I'll be happy to help you out with it.